Good morning, Glenn Kirschner.
Hello, Steph.
I thank you for letting me meet your beautiful oldest daughter, who I said I have a big crush on your dad, but I'm gay, so tell your mom it's okay.
Yeah, and she's carrying our first grandchild, so we're very excited.
Congratulations, Grampy! How exciting! So I have to say, you probably saw Mark Elias, the head Democratic lawyer, say yesterday that he was shaken by this Supreme Court case, and he said not because they're going to win, of course they're not, but just the fact that we have this many seditious members of Congress and attorneys general across the United States in 18 states, right?
Yeah, I dubbed them this morning the Seditious 17.
Yeah.
How it is that 17 Republican attorneys general can sign on to what is so obviously and transparently a frivolous lawsuit and an attempt to overthrow the incoming duly elected administration is beyond me. I'm glad there are 7 Republican attorneys general who said, no, 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 I'm just not that seditious, and they wouldn't sign on to the suit.
Yeah. Well, and you calmed us down as you do. Someone asked about, obviously this is just a show of force. Look at how many, House members we have and how many other states. You said it'll have zero impact on the way the Supreme Court handles the case. 18 Republican politicians, state AGs, or 18,000 Republican politicians, frivolous legal arguments, no matter how many partisans climb aboard the frivolous argument bandwagon. It's just deeply troubling about our democracy. And that's why you're right, Glenn, about that there has got to be consequences for all of this, or this just becomes our new norm, right?
Yeah. If in the name of healing, we say we're going to decline to hold all of these criminal politicians accountable, we really are slouching toward the end of our republic. And I hope we have the political will to go after them.
Well, Jess asked you on Twitter, at what point do all these frivolous lawsuits become eligible as crimes themselves? And you said the only way to know is to launch an investigation into Trump, Giuliani, and the countries, their attempt to overthrow the will of the American voters. If we don't tackle all of this beginning in January, we'll be slouching toward the end of our republic. And I don't think that's hyperbole, Glenn.
It's not hyperbole. I've said this before in my 30 years as a prosecutor. I never once, not once, told a victim that the way to heal is to decline to hold your perpetrator accountable. We don't do it in any other area of criminal law. Listen, if we said, you know what, we're done going after bank robbers, everybody would be out there robbing banks. Yeah. Why in the world are we going to be done going after criminal politicians?
Yeah. I mean, timidity is the word I would use about most Republicans, at least some of them. Ben Sass is one of the only ones who've, torn into this lawsuit. He said, I'm no lawyer, but I suspect the Supreme Court swats this away. From the brief, it looks like a fellow begging for a pardon, filed as a PR stunt rather than a lawsuit, as all of its assertions have already been rejected by federal courts, and Texas' own Solicitor General isn't signing on. So, thank God for the few Republicans speaking out. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that Ken Paxton was just served a subpoena, is under FBI investigation, is clearly doing this for a pardon. Glenn, what number of new felonies is it that he and all of these attorneys generals just had lunch with Trump at the White House yesterday to discuss this sedition? I mean, what?
It's a conspiracy to overthrow the duly elected incoming administration, plain and simple. And yeah, Ken Paxton, the attorney general for the state of Texas, not only is under federal investigation, he's under state criminal indictment pending trial. And this thing, it is a stunt, this suit that's been filed in the Supreme Court. What I think the Supreme Court can do one of 3 things. One, it can do exactly what it did with the challenge of the Pennsylvania election results. One word, denied, go away. Or it could deny it, but it could write a little something, a little flourish about how we're not in the business of taking lawsuits that are political in nature, designed to overthrow the will of the American voters. Or here's the dark horse candidate. They accept review of the case, and then they write 50 pages knocking it down to try to just sort of, put a complete stop to what's been going on.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that because there's no legal basis for them to actually accept review of the case, even if only to knock it down. I think we may get a couple of paragraphs that in substance say denied and cut it out.
Yeah, I was saying the other day, Glenn, you don't even have to be a lawyer to read some of these judges. It's just like The Supreme Court was just like, yeah, no. I mean, some of these judges are just it's so clear. You don't even have to be a lawyer to read it. I mean, as you wrote about the last one, you said short, sweet, to the point, democracy affirming, autocracy defeating opinion from the Supreme Court. Yeah, let's hope so. What's the time frame on this, Glenn? What happens? I mean, obviously Monday is the Electoral College vote. So
we will see the Supreme Court deny this before Monday. But if we pull back to 30,000 feet, I think we can take comfort in this, right? First of all, it's just a bunch of Republican attorneys general who have signed on to this suit. A bunch of other Republican attorneys general refused to, and all of the Democrat attorneys general refused to. But here's the other thing we can really take comfort about. The courts, more than 50 cases, Republican judges, Democrat judges, all kinds of judges, every single judge in the country has said, you're wrong, Trump. Go away. This election cannot be overturned. Those are the apolitical people. And frankly, a lot of them are the Mitch McConnell appointed judges. Yeah. Donald Trump appointed judges, then crammed down our throat via Mitch McConnell confirmation hearings. But the fact that the entire judiciary, left, right, and center, has said, you lose, we need to take comfort in that and realize the rest is politics. It's seditious politics, but it's just politics.
Yeah. It's a stunt, right? It's not a legal strategy. I mean, so here we go with AG, because we're obviously anxiously awaiting. Now that you're a TV star, it looks less likely it's going to be you. I mean, I just, I guess it's just my dream looks different than it. But you just said, as we await Joe Biden's pick for Attorney General, I sure hope the nominee has not bloodlust, but a serious case of justice lust. The reality is our country cannot heal, will not heal without accountability for Trump and all his criminal associates. And then you also said, why is Lindsey Graham saying Biden's AG must not investigate Trump? Here's one big clue, because #justice matters. Because is that him saying, I know my friend lost and I know my friend's a crook? I think so.
Yeah, I think the Lindsey Graham thing is actually easy to explain if we do the Occam's razor thing, right? Lindsey Graham said the most horrific, accurate things about Donald Trump. Lindsey Graham then went on TV, CNN, in December of 2015 and said, my emails were hacked. They've never been released. Then he gets summoned to the golf course by Donald Trump. And now he is Donald Trump's ride or die buddy. Well, put those three things together.
Yeah.
Right? Russia's got the dirt on Lindsey.
Yeah.
Putin shared that dirt with Trump. Trump shared that dirt with Lindsey. And now Lindsey will ride or die with Trump. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Who do you like for Attorney General, and who do you think it's going to be, and how soon do you think we're going to know?
I don't have a name in mind, and I think everybody kind of knows, if you've paid any attention to me running my mouth on air in any of these outlets. I'm probably nobody's cup of bureaucratic tea, because I want to take down every single criminal politician who has done what these people have done to our country, to its people, to the immigrants on the COVID front, all of it. Yeah. And I don't know that the establishment is up for that. Now, if President Biden called me if he appointed me as, the head janitor at the White House to empty the trash, I am there, because that's what being an American is all about. But I don't have a name in mind, Steph. Yeah. So when I put in that tweet, I want somebody who is aggressive, who is fearless, who is unafraid to take maiden legal voyages, like indicting somebody who's been delivered a corrupt presidential pardon, or indicting a former president. We have to take these maiden legal voyages, and whoever is willing to do it, even running the risk of losing in court, that's who I'm supporting.
Yeah, I hear you. So one last question about this ridiculous suit. It's not even a suit, but so as I'm reading, it calls, obviously, what they're calling on is them to delay the electoral vote in these four targeted states, which would allow investigations of voting issues to continue. So what's the word I'm looking for? That is unconstitutional, correct? What they're asking.
It is.
And also, so the second, I'm just looking at legal experts, like you, saying the second hurdle is Texas has no legal right to claim officials elsewhere didn't follow the rules set by their own legislatures. The United States doesn't have a national election for president. It has a series of state elections, and one state has no legal standing to challenge how another state conducts its elections. So I mean, those 2 points are correct, right? A, they don't have standing, and B, in terms of why the Supreme Court would reject this. Can you
Yeah,
explain?
the magic word is standing.
Okay.
Texas doesn't have a right to sue other states because it doesn't like the way those other states ran their election. And of course, there was no fraud in those other states. So even if they did have standing, they would lose on the merits. But the reason I say the Supreme Court will not exercise jurisdiction is because Texas doesn't have a lawful claim to bring in
Well, and you
court.
can't delay Monday, right? It's December 14th you can't delay it. You can't delay that or January 20th. That's in the Constitution, right?
Yeah, the electoral the college will meet on Monday. This thing will be a done deal. That doesn't mean Donald Trump won't keep trying to attack it. He will. Why? Because it's always about the grift.
Right.
He is raising funds, and he's not raising funds from PACs or corporations. He's getting $10 a pop from his supporters who don't have $10 to give him, and that just adds insult to injury.
Yeah. One happy headline came in front of me while we were talking. Manhattan DA's office reportedly escalating investigation of Trump significantly. Recently interviewed Deutsche Bank employees. That's happy, right?
It's good. It's good. I'll believe some indictments out of DA Vance in Manhattan when I see them, and I sure hope we see them soon.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, anyway, I believe what's the term? Hashtag justice is coming. That's what I believe, Glenn.
It is. It's coming. It's coming. We're almost there.
Like your new grandchild, justice is coming. Okay.
Correct.
Treason's greetings. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks,
Mwah.
Steph.
All right. Bye, Glenn.